Guys, it's Matt here. So, it's that time of year again, and if you're like me, you might have found yourself on many dental school wait lists. Um, it can be a hard and frustrating time. There's a lot of uncertainty. You're not sure if you're going to get into a school. You're not sure which school, when you might get accepted if you do get accepted into a school. So I'm hoping that I can maybe clear some of that up for you, give you a better idea of where you might be at in the application process or acceptance process, um, help give you some hope so that make you feel better, and maybe give you something you can do to improve your chances of getting into dental school and getting into the school of your dreams, the school you want to go to that'll help put you on the path of becoming a dentist that you want to be. So first off, in my experience, there are two kinds of dental school waitlists. So you can get, I got like four waitlist acceptances to like schools that didn't give me an interview yet, but they didn't tell me no. So you're kind of in this like limbo range of we don't want to say no yet, just in case, but we don't think you're good enough that we want to give you an interview spot either. So if you're in that position, I wouldn't have very high hopes of you getting in. Didn't get any acceptances from any of those, didn't even get an interview from any of those. Maybe you guys will have more luck, but I did not. I think like two of the schools never even officially confirmed that I wasn't rejected, and I just never heard back from them. It kind of just got forgotten. So I wouldn't put a lot of high hopes in that. However, if you've already interviewed at a school and then you get put on the wait list, and they might call it an alternate list depending on the school, then you have a very good chance of getting into dental school. So you should feel pretty happy, like you're in a pretty good spot. The dental school acceptance goes through a lot of like turnover and a lot of shifting around in the acceptance kind of wait list and the pools and of that stuff. So, a lot of applicants are accepted in multiple schools and they're kind of waiting, till the deadline. A lot of really good applicants get accepted to maybe like their dream school or their in-state school or just a cheaper school. So there's a lot of movement between all the dental schools. So if you haven't gotten in yet, but you're on a wait list, like you've interviewed and you're on that alternate list or wait list, like hold your head high. You should be pretty proud. You're in a pretty good position. There's a very good chance that you will get accepted to dental school. So I got on two alternate lists and I got acceptances from both of them. One was like a week after I interviewed, happened pretty quick. The other was several months, and I actually didn't get a call from them until a week before dental school started. And they kind of called me up and like, hey, you want your spot? But I was already accepted, and I didn't really want to go through the hassle of moving and redoing everything in 1 week before dental school. But there's a girl in my class who hadn't heard from any dental school. She was on wait list, and she got accepted like during the third day of orientation at my school. So she like dropped everything, drove across the country, and got to dental school, like in dental school, the day the classes started. So, that's something to consider. You could get accepted at any time, and it could be, you could find yourself in a hard position. So even if it's like a week before school, there's still hope. So I know it can be hard to have so much uncertainty about dental school. I mean, this is your career, this is your future we're talking about, and to not have that control is a very difficult thing. But maybe there is something you can do to help improve your chances of getting into dental school that may just slightly put you ahead of someone else on the wait list. And that is writing a letter of intent. So what is a letter of intent, you might wonder? Well, basically, it's just you're writing a letter telling the school, like, hey, you're the school for me. Like, if you accept me, I'll accept you. Like, pretty much that you're my number one choice, and that if you give me that acceptance, I will come to your school for sure. So to write a letter of intent basically is that like you're telling the school like why you like the school so much, and that if you get accepted, you will go to this school. You're pretty much clearing up for that school like, hey, if we accept this person, will they want to go to another school, or are they going to accept us? Like, so you're just kind of clarifying that. And something else you can include in that is like what you've done since your interview, or since even you've applied to the school that's made you a better applicant, and kind of help build up your case for going to the school. It's supposed to be brief. Don't like drag on. This, again, the key thing here is like you don't want to annoy them or you don't want to be bothersome. If you don't want to do something so formal, something else you could do is just call the school. Call the admissions, and some dental schools will tell you kind of where you are on the wait list. Others won't, so that's something to kind of consider. But you can call the schools, express like that you're really interested in going to the school. Like, it's kind of like a mini letter of intent, just telling them how much you want to go to the school. Um, just like kind of they want to clear up where you're at. If they will do that, something else you can do is ask them maybe like what would make you a stronger applicant if you don't get into school like next year, things that you can start working on that would help you become a better applicant for the school or help you improve otherwise, um, help prepare you to be a student at the school. So again, you just want to show like that you're interested in the school and that it's a chance to showcase maybe what you've done or what you're willing to do, showing that you want to put a lot of effort into, that you're willing to put effort, you're willing to work to get into this school. So that's something I did. I called both of my schools that I was on the alternate list for. I ended up getting into both of them. I'm not saying that's what made the difference. Maybe it did nothing. Maybe it hurt me. I don't know. There's not a for sure thing. It depends on, each school and each admission committee and who's on it, who you talk to. So there's a lot of variables here. I'm not saying any of these things are for sure, but that's something that I would consider doing. And again, if your school says like don't write a letter of intent or don't call them, like I'd probably not call them. That's something to, take into account, be considerate of the school and where your position is. If you prefer emailing, maybe that's something you could do. I personally think calling is a little bit better, looks better. Maybe it's just me though, it might just be my personality. Whatever works for you guys. Something else I'd also recommend is that, letters, the schools that have rejected you or that you're on like the weird limbo wait list where you haven't been given an interview spot, maybe ask them like, hey, what can I do to make me a stronger applicant? So while you're, waiting to get into dental school, you can get information from other schools about why, to help clear up why you didn't get in. And then that'll help give you a better idea of what you might need to work on and help give you an idea of if I should retake the DAT or if I need more shadowing or volunteering or better leadership experiences, if I should rewrite a new personal statement. So those are kind of things to consider. I would definitely at least recommend, calling others or emailing or calling other schools to see, because that's something you start working on. It'll start improving, you as an applicant. And then maybe if one of the other schools calls to give you an interview, you're in a little bit better of a position. Then there's other things you can talk about in the interview of like what you've done to improve. So again, I wouldn't say any of these things are for sure, but these are things you can try. If you're just feeling so hopeless and powerless, or if you start getting desperate more towards the end, go ahead and try. Give them a call, you write them an email, write them a letter of intent. Show them how much this means to you. But the key thing here is don't be annoying. You don't want to drag this out. You don't want to be a bother to the admissions committee. You don't want this to be something that's more harm than good. So for sure, make sure that you are just very kind and friendly and courteous to whoever you speak with at the school, whether it's admission committee, the secretary. You don't want to make anyone in a bad mood from your call or email or anything like that. Just be very considerate and gracious about this. And I believe that this will help you get into dental school. And if you're on the alternate list, I want you guys to know like there is hope. There's a good chance you're going to get into dental school. So hold your heads up high. That call is going to be coming for you. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know what you guys think or if there's anything that you want me to talk about. Again, I really appreciate if you guys like, subscribe to the video. It really helps me out, helps the channel grow. Hopefully I'm being helpful to you guys. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you.